Okay, thank you very much, Saul, and thank you everyone for taking the time. And I know that you all have plenty of concerns regarding Israel, but I would like to start with very positive aspect of this war. From my point of view, the 7th of October was one of the terrible days in the history of the Jewish people, and I'm historian of the ancient period. But it was also for me an opportunity to see how beautiful Am Israel is and to see how suddenly the domestic conflict that we had one day before that, 2 hours before that, and I was sure that this is part of what might bring us to very negative situation. Suddenly everything has vanished, and for us, for all the reservists that joined the war on this Shabbat, on this Simchat Torah, for us everything was quite clear. We knew that there is an enemy that would like and looking for destroying Am Israel and to eliminate the state of Israel. We knew that we are all together in the same with the same challenge, with the same problem, and we knew that there is no other opportunities than to protect the state of Israel. And for me, it was quite refreshing. I'm not in politics in the last 1 year, and I'm doing whatever I want, joining Zooms if people ask me, and I think that they are nice, and visiting places. And I had a very great time with my family, and I plan to go to visit Brazil, to visit a friend of mine in Brazil. I thought that I will do some kind of a trip, and suddenly everything has changed. And people that demonstrate one day before that in the streets of Tel Aviv against the legal reform, and people that were demonstrating pro the reform suddenly found themselves together at the same battle line with the same aspiration to protect Israel, with a very clear point of view. And someone like me, a former minister, and other people that came from waitress and kindergarten teachers and different beautiful Israelis came all together, risked their lives, and we're still there. We are still in the middle of a war, just in order to make sure that we are strengthening the state of Israel and to make sure that our citizens, Am Israel, has the opportunity and has the power to continue and to flourish this place and to make sure that this huge miracle, as I said, the state of Israel, will continue for many years. Now, I'm not going to paint this picture as only in the positive colors. There are many things that we need to check. From my point of view, we have lack of leadership. We have things that we need to invest and to analyze and to understand where exactly all the problems came from. And we need to check the army and the service and the servant services, and we need to check politics, and we need to check our prime minister. And without any connection to my, I would say, a negative view regarding this government. But beyond all that, we are all suddenly felt that we are standing together without any connection to politics, without any connection to who is the prime minister and what government we have. We are all standing together in a very historical moment in order to do the same things that the pioneers, the first pioneers that built Israel, have done. We are protecting our land. We are making sure that we are building and flourishing our villages while the enemy is suffering from our protection, or suffering, maybe it's not the right word, but the enemy understand that he cannot attack anymore Jews. And we are focusing on Aliyah, Ityashvut, as we say that in Hebrew, and building Israel. And after the war, people like us, like our reservists, will have more jobs or more missions, because even when you are taking off your uniforms, and now I'm between service to service, I'm now before the next round with my soldiers, even those that you are leaving your uniforms at home, you still have the same responsibilities that we had from day one. And let me tell you, I will speak another 2 minutes and then I will open it to Q&A, but let me tell you my personal feeling in the first few days. I felt that suddenly the leadership is down there, is in Be'eri and Kfar Aza, it's in the battlefield. I felt that there is silence from the government, from politicians, from what I thought that will raise their voices. And the people that took leadership were those reservists, officers, soldiers, civilians that just came in order to bring food for soldiers or to just do some massages to soldiers or just to help in something. I saw how beautiful Am Israel is in a moment of one of the most critical and the biggest tzara that I know since I was born. And from that point, I'm convincing that we have just a huge potential and power to bring Israel, to fix our problems, to make sure that we have the right leadership, and to give our people what they deserve. And they deserve to have beautiful life. They deserve that our villages will flourish. They deserve to have a very strong economy, and they deserve a beautiful leadership. And I believe in my people. I'm risking my life time after time because I believe that this is my duty. And I'm very happy to do that with many Israelis alongside with me, people that believe. And we are believers. We were believers at the beginning of Israel, and we are still believers. So if our enemy thought in a false way that our liberal values and democratic society, our closeness to the US and to the West make us weak, they found out that we are not weak. We are strong. We are determined to protect our people, and we will do whatever we need to do in order to make sure that the enemy, and it doesn't matter if it's the Hamas or Hezbollah, will not attack us or will think twice or 10 times before they are even thinking about hurting any Jew in anywhere in the world. And I think that today we are standing in a much more stronger situation, and we are doing a lot of steps in order to take the next step after the war to fix our problems. And I believe in the state of Israel, and I believe in the army of Israel, and I believe that we will do it and we will succeed. So thank you very much for your time, and now you can ask whatever you want.
So, Dr. Hendel, thank you so much actually for your inspiring and uplifting words in a very difficult time. You know, one of the questions that we frequently get is, what would be your take on the situation in the North?
So I don't think that this is the right forum to speak fluently about this issue, but I will tell you that in a war in general, and my PhD was focusing on wars in the ancient period, and after that I was professor at university on modern wars, small wars. You can never know. You know how you start wars, you can never know how you end them. And our job, our mission of all of us, the soldiers, the reservists, the leadership, is to make sure that a kid in Metula or in Kfar Aza or in Ofra will live peacefully, and he will go to sleep at night, and he will not be afraid that someone will attack him in the middle of the night. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that the areas that close to Israel are demilitarized. And otherwise, we will have our concerns, and we will give our citizens in the north, in the south, or in other places, the feeling that it's not 100%. So I cannot promise you a profit that we will live peacefully from now and on. I'm sure that my kids, unfortunately, will go to the army, will serve, and maybe will find themselves in similar challenges. but I can promise you that we will do whatever we need in order to close it as much as we can and to make sure that our enemies are afraid from attacking Israel. And unfortunately, from my point of view, the Israeli strategy should be a fear from attacking the state of Israel, a fear from attacking Jews. After that, we can speak about different modern methods to bridge gaps with our neighbors.
So a question that came in, you mentioned about unity as a result of this war, and just generally, how do you think the country can keep that post-war, and how does the diaspora connection remain on the day after?
Okay, so first of all, I think that this is a mainly domestic issue, mainly an Israeli issue. I'm 48 years old. I'm over the age of fighting. I was, as you mentioned, I served in the Israeli Navy SEALs for many years, and I still feel young, but I'm not really young. But the guys that join me are all in my age. They felt that they have no other options than to join and to fight to protect Israel. And they feel today that they have no other option than to make sure after this war that we are fixing our problems and leading the right leadership, because we deserve it. We, the Israelis. After that, another, I think, a thought that I had, and I know that many friends of mine share the same. We have also a job, a role in leading the Jewish world, and to make sure, as you remember, the state of Israel was in the past the insurance policy for all Jews from all over the world. So I would like to see Israel as a strong and safe and stable country, that you in the diaspora will feel that you have a home here, a homeland for the Jewish people. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we are strong enough. And we have to make sure that our society is strong enough. And one of the things that I think that most of the Israelis learned in this war, that achdut, how to translate unity of Am Israel, it's not only cliché, it's not only a slogan. Unity, it's one of our part of our strategic goals. And we need to make sure that we keep this unity. The leadership should work on it day by day, even though that it's hard in politics, even though that people criticize you, because this unity brought my friends from left and from right, from settlers and kibbutznikim, religious and seculars, brought them all together to fight, to risk their life in order to protect Israel. Your role, if you ask me, is to find those organizations that work hard for the unity of Israel, to find those people that lead unity in the state of Israel, and to help them to raise this flag. And I believe in that. I believe in the right of every Jew to have his peace in our country, in the state of Israel. And I believe that at the end of the day, we might convince you even to do Aliyah. And one of I said that this war was actually cleared my view, and everything went back to the core issues of the beginning of the state of Israel. So those are the core issues: to protect Israel, to make sure that we have a homeland for the Jewish people, to make sure that we are keeping and building and rebuilding the Itiyashvut, our villages, our kibbutzim, our borders, and to make sure that we inviting and helping and encouraging Jews from all over the world to do Aliyah. After that, all the debates are less important than that. And when we will go back to the core issues, we will succeed to fix our problems.
So look, JNF-USA, we are there. We were there before. We're there now. We'll be there forever in support of Israel. And Dr. Hendel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. And I would like to thank you all for your important job. I know that you are supporting many organizations in Israel. I didn't have enough time to read all the whole list of organizations. So I know that you are doing a lot of good things. And for me, it was quite inspiring to see how many Jews from the US and from other places just came to the front line to make some barbecue or to make other things. Unfortunately, I had so many kebabs and steaks from those barbecues, so I don't think that it's very healthy, but it was quite emotional impact to see all those people coming and just trying to help. And it was a moment of unity, and I wish all of us to maintain it for many years.